Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Advance, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And Ric Bucher is back at it again, man. He back at it again. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So Ric Bucher has a show, I think, with Brendan Haywood. Is it Brendan Haywood? Former Washington Wizard. I think it's him, right? But anyway, he has a podcast where, if you know anything about Ric Bucher, man, you get high-level basketball conversation with Rick. And one of the talking points we've been kind of talking about these last few weeks is the Lakers. And recently, LeBron missed some games. I think 2 or 3 games. I don't remember the number. But in this absence, the Lakers played extremely well against some very good competition, which then brought back the conversation of, are the Lakers better without LeBron James, right? So then recently, they beat the Chicago Bulls, and I think he returned in that game. I don't remember the box score, what he scored or whatever. So it kind of brought back this false thing of, oh, well, you know, maybe they're not. No. They're not playing. They could beat subpar teams. When it comes to beating real teams, that's when you see, or rather you find out that they're not a good team. So they were discussing this on Ric Bucher's podcast. And Rick was essentially pointing out the number one problem that LeBron James kind of causes for the Lakers as he's currently on their roster. But before we can get into what Ric Bucher had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. The playoff push is heating up, tournament hoops are here, and there's no better time to make your picks on Prize Picks. Every bucket, every dime, every win means more when you're right. And here's what got me excited. Prize Picks now has team picks. So on top of all the player picks you already love, you can now pick game winners, spreads, and totals too. I've been using it and honestly have no idea why I waited so long. I made my first team pick on a basketball game the other night, and it made watching so much more fun. The best part, you can even pick who's going to cut down the nets in a few weeks or who's winning it all this summer. All right in the same Prize Picks app. And team picks are available in 35 states, including California, Texas, Georgia, and Washington. If you're right on your picks, you cash in. It's that simple. Download the Prize Picks app today and pick your first game winner, spread, or total as the playoffs rolls on. And get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup when you use code CLNS. That's code CLNS to get $50 in daily fantasy lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right, cool. So I want to play what Ric Bucher had to say. I want you guys to listen to his analysis, and we come back and get into the show. Take a listen to what Ric Bucher had to say here.
This is the issue with LeBron, and I do believe it's why Austin and Luka are better. That combination is better than LeBron and either one of the other two, and it's largely because of where LeBron plays at this point in his career. He's a backline guy. He's going to be playing at the 4 or the 5. It's going to limit the number of minutes that DeAndre Ayton is going to get. And for whatever reason, if you start DeAndre Ayton, if you give him a little more of a primary role, and maybe this isn't a surprise, because with all bigs, if you let them eat, if you let them touch the ball, if you get them involved offensively, they're going to give you a little bit more defensively. And so LeBron not only can't stay in front of guys, is not only a bad on-the-ball defender, he's not really a good help defender when you have two guys like Luka and Austin, and you're gonna have to deal with rotating and defending the rim. LeBron can do it at times, but there's way too many times where he's not rotating. He's just not, he's not jetting out anywhere to do that. And so when he's not playing, you're going to get more Jared Vanderbilt. You're going to get more Rui Hachimura. You're going to get more DeAndre Ayton. You're essentially going to get guys that are just a little bit better playing those roles and playing better defense, maybe not great defense, but better defense. And I think that's the difference, is that Luka and Austin are out on the perimeter. If they get beat, fine. You got 3 other guys that can help, and hopefully they don't stay beat. But with LeBron on the back line, if one of those guys get beat, well, now more often than not, guys got a clear sailing all the way to the rim. Or if LeBron does come over, the ball's getting kicked out and somebody's getting a wide open 3. To me, that's the difference. And if that's hating on LeBron, I don't think it's LeBron's fault so much. It's just he's 41 years old, and he defensively, you need more help with Austin and Luka.
Excellent. So you heard what Rick had to say. Now, he brought up a point where he said it's not LeBron's fault, and I think it's important that we point that out. The guy's 40 years old, man. 41 years old. Right? So a lot of this is just age. Was when LeBron was younger, was he like, no, we all know this, right? But it's age. Which then begs the question, why are we, I don't get it at this point. Even if you listen to supporters, you're like, he's old. Yeah, he's old. So why is he still playing? If you're the oldest one in the pack and you're slowing down the pack, you can't get upset when they say, man, hey, man, you're slowing us down. And you say, well, I'm 4. Then why are you out here running with us? This is the whole point. Now, if the idea is just to carry him along and have him, put up shots and score points or whatever it is, then so be it. Come out and say that that's what this is about. This is just for me to be out here, getting statistics, getting numbers, and that's it. But the fact of the matter is, he's the weakest link because of his age. That's not hate. It's a fact. And they may be able to get wins off of lousy teams like the Chicago Bulls, but when they face real competition like they're about to face tonight, I think in the Denver Nuggets, then you have the Houston Rockets back-to-back, you have the Miami Heat, then you have the Magic, Pistons. You're going to be facing some real competition. Is he going to play? Because if he plays, then I think the Lakers are going to revert. Not just because I think so, but because the numbers bear it out. And I don't think you're a hater for pointing out the obvious. You're not a hater. The fact is the man is old. He's old. It's not like he's old. This is not a knock on he's old. And his contract expiring this summer, if LeBron were to come back, he can only come back on a minimum contract. I don't care his name. It doesn't make sense anymore at this point. Or even if the Lakers decide to pay him max money, you can't play starter minutes. It just won't work. He's old. And I'm not saying that Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves are going to go off and win 7 titles in a row. No, but from what we've seen, they play better together. We have the data already. I said this from the onset of the season. It's now the NBA media is beginning to catch up to it, like in February, March. But that's what Rick had to say. Obviously, you guys are entitled to feel however you feel. So let me know what you think about Ric Bucher's comments in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show. Peace.